In this video, I want to walk through everything players can look forward to in terms of free rewards during version 6.3. By the end, you'll know exactly what's available in this patch: the free skin, the free 4-star character selector, the primogems from Rite, the event pulls we can expect from normal gameplay, and even the potential primogems from the Game Awards if the community manages to secure a win. I'll also break down the full primogem totals for free-to-play players, for Welkin users, and for those who combine Welkin with the Battle Pass, so you can plan pulls ahead, especially if you're eyeing a specific character in the first phase. Everything in this video is based on confirmed official announcements, in-game patterns from previous Lantern Rites, and historical reward trends, and whenever something is uncertain, I'll say it clearly. Version 6.3 is scheduled to release on January 14th, 2026, following the usual 6-week update cycle. Buy 6,480 Genesis crystals with 6.2 limited pack for only $79 at lootbar.gg. New users get 10%, and existing users can enjoy up to a 5% discount coupon. Link in the description. This means all the free rewards, the Lantern Rite content, the new skins, and the primogem income we've talked about will begin rolling out as soon as the patch goes live. If you're planning pulls for the first phase, that date is your starting point, and it gives you a clear timeline for saving, preparing, and deciding how to use your resources once the banners appear. So let's start with the part that always draws the most attention around this time of the year: Lantern Rite. For many players, this event is basically a mini festival of rewards. It's always been one of the most generous periods of the entire year, and 6.3 seems to continue that tradition. One of the highlights is the new free skin for a 4-star character. Lantern Rite almost always gives something like this, and it has become a tradition that players look forward to. Getting a skin without spending Genesis crystals is rare enough that people tend to remember these events for a long time. This time is no different. One of the skins is completely free, and then we also have a new Nouvelette skin, but that one is paid. Both are purely cosmetic, but they're a nice touch for anyone who appreciates visual variety. Lantern Rite also continues another yearly tradition: the free 4-star character selector from Liu. For anyone who's newer to the game, this system lets you pick a character from a predetermined pool and claim them permanently just by completing the event's tasks. It's a great chance to grab constellations, fill a missing support slot, or even unlock a character you've always wanted but never happened to pull. Events throughout the year rarely give something this substantial, and that's why Lantern Rite is usually the one patch that everyone looks forward to, even players who normally take breaks. Along with the skin and the character selector, Lantern Rite brings a wave of smaller but still useful rewards. As usual, completing activities throughout the festival gives primogems, hero's wit, mora, and other resources that feed directly into character progression. Even if you're not focused on leveling up a new character right now, these rewards add up over time and make life easier later. And there's also the emotional boost that comes from seeing your mailbox filled with event messages and small bonuses, something that only happens during these major celebrations. Something players often forget is how much these events actually add to the total primogem count across an entire patch. When you combine the Lantern Rite rewards with the regular daily commissions, exploration, quests, and Spiral Abyss resets, the numbers become surprisingly high. A completely free-to-play player, just by logging in and playing normally during version 6.3, can expect to gather around 17,260 primogems. That comes out to roughly 107 pulls for the entire version. And if you're planning for a character in the first phase of the patch, the amount available early is meaningful. You'll have around 64 pulls ready before the second banner rotation begins, which can make or break a pity cycle depending on how lucky or unlucky your account tends to be. Players who buy the Blessing of the Welkin Moon experience a significant increase in their totals. Welkin gives a steady flow of primogems with the daily login bonus, and across the full 42 days of the patch, that adds up to around 3,780 extra primogems. When you add that to the base free-to-play amount, the total grows to about 21,040 primogems, which translates to roughly 131 pulls. The first phase also rises patches, reaching around 76 pulls available before the second half of the patch begins. For many people, Welkin is one of the most cost-efficient ways to increase your chances for limited characters. And then there's the combination of both Welkin and the Battle Pass. The Battle Pass doesn't raise the total as dramatically as Welkin does, because most of its value is in crafting materials, Mora, Hero's Wit, and weapon billets. Still, the Battle Pass gives a handful of intertwined fates and pushes the total Primogem count to around 22,360 Primogems. That equals about 139 pulls in total and around 79 pulls during the first phase. These numbers aren't exact predictions and shouldn't be taken as absolute guarantees, but they reflect repeated patterns we've seen in many past patches. One more interesting factor this time is the Game Awards. Genshin isn't competing in any of the major jury-voted categories this year, but it is participating in the Player's Voice category. This category is determined completely by public voting, not judges, which means the outcome depends entirely on community participation. Historically, whenever Genshin has won at the Game Awards, the developers have sent Primogems to every player through in-game mail. These rewards usually ranged from around 800 to 1,600 Primogems. None of this is confirmed for this year, and it depends on whether the game wins, but the pattern exists. And players still remember the years when these rewards arrived in the mailbox right after the show. If it happens again, the total Primogem count for the patch could rise even more. So after looking at how many free rewards 6.3 is giving us, the big question becomes pretty simple. Where are you actually planning to spend all of this? With so many pulls available this patch, it helps to have a clear picture of the banner lineup before the update arrives. For 6.3, the community expectation points toward a banner cycle built around 4 major characters. Columbina and Zibai are set to be the new 5-star units debuting in this version, while Neuvillette and Inefa are circulating as the likely reruns. The exact order hasn't been confirmed yet, so treat this as early information rather than something final. But most reports suggest Columbina may open the patch in the first phase, with Zibai appearing later in the second. Neuvillette and Inefa are expected to rotate alongside them as the returning limited characters, though rerun timing often shifts until the official livestream. All of these rewards blend together into one of the most generous versions in recent memory. We've got a free skin, a free character selector, plenty of Primogems from Lantern Rite activities, steady income from normal gameplay, and even the possibility of a bonus from the Game Awards. Whether you're saving for someone in the first phase or the second, having a clear picture of what's available helps you make better decisions about your Primogems, and it also makes the patch feel more exciting, because you can see how everything ties together: the event rewards, the cosmetics, the pulls, and the potential extras. If you made it this far, let me know in the comments what you're going for this patch. Are you saving everything for one character, or are you planning a split strategy across both banners? And if you want more videos that break things down in a simple and clear way, feel free to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Buy 6,480 Genesis crystals with 6.2 limited pack for only $79 at lootbar.gg. New users get 10%, and existing users can enjoy up to a 5% discount coupon. Link in the description.